Welcome back, blade fans. This old sword is with you. And what do we have today? A wild and crazy TwoSun knife. So, if you're a Steve Martin Saturday Night Live fan from ages ago, or you've heard about that, well, I think the term applies here. But this is a very, very interesting knife with certain special aspects to it. I figured I would open it later after the opening shot there to give you the full impression of what we've got going on with the TwoSun 382. If you like your knives with opening holes, well, you're going to love this knife. It has the opening hole to beat all of them. This is a Max Tkachuk design. He's a Ukrainian designer, graphic and industrial designer, I believe. And got that information from Concept Knives. Max has done designs for Bestech, for Concept, and for TwoSun, and possibly some others as well. He chimes in every now and then on these reviews, so maybe we'll hear from him and he'll tell you a little bit more. I'm not sure. But this is one heck of a knife. You can open it with the opening hole. You got to sort of push hard to grab the edge with your thumb because these are this is a chamfered opening here in that extremely large hole. And so many people are saying, why do you need such a large opening hole? Well, that's because it is not just an opening hole, you see? Check that out. Got a little push dagger there. And there are a number of ways you can hold this blade. Let's back out a little bit. Got a lot of jimping here. You can hold it this way. You can hold it way back here. And we have effective jimping on the the spine of the blade. It is a Sandvik stonewashed blade, Sandvik 14C28N. Interesting how you can see the detent hole there in the blade when it's opened. They had to make some concessions with this knife in order to get it to behave properly. But look at the size of that front flipper platform. We've got some really nice sort of stonewashed titanium handle with beautiful carbon fiber inserts. We have a ceramic ball in the clip with ventilated holes in the clip there. I haven't tried middle finger flicking this, but it should work. Let's see. Almost. Yeah. As I say, you can see that the hole is chamfered, so it isn't like a Spyderco where they keep a sharper shoulder on their opening. It doesn't really naturally grab the finger. There you go. Got an interesting tapered handle with a lanyard slot. We have the same insert of carbon fiber on each side, which is nice. Frame lock, hardened steel insert, all the usual. Let's grab a few measurements, shall we? And see what we've got. So first we're going to start with the overall length. This really neat spear point blade, I would call it. And it's coming in at 8 3/4 inches, 8.75 inches overall. If we Consider the blade right up to the middle of the handle. It's just shy of 4 inches with a sharpened edge of 3.5 inches. As far as thicknesses go, we've got a pretty good blade stock. Let's see what that measures out to be. 3.7 millimeters. Handle thickness 0.55, and it isn't extremely heavy, and we've lost a lot of steel with that hole. Oh, we gotta turn the scale on. Okay, 4.5 ounces, 4.54, under 5 ounces for a almost 9-inch knife with an almost 4-inch blade. This is certainly one of the easier front flippers. You have lots of leverage there. I saw Max on his Instagram channel even open it with the, I don't know, there we go. A little rough on the finger, but you can open it with the index finger. Not my preferred method of opening, and probably with this, you know, I'm not going to see, the hole is there for sure, but it rides fairly close to the frame of the the frame of the knife, the handle. Middle finger flick's not too bad, but again, it's not real grabby on the edge of that opening, simply because of the chamfering, which is a nice thing to have, but not real efficient for using the hole to open. But you've got such a prominent front flipper on this knife that's really the way to go if you're going to open it regularly. It is, I would say, drop shut, very much so, on bearings. And again, you've got lots of ways to use the knife. As really odd as that huge hole seems, it serves that purpose of giving you a place to anchor your index finger and place your middle finger there or back there, your choice. And this pinch you get right here between your index finger and your thumb, it's kind of like you're squeezing that upper bar of steel, and it locks into the hand very, very well, in kind of a saber grip. So it's a big knife. It's not extremely heavy. In and out of the pocket pretty well with the smoothness of that ceramic ball. And you may think, and I certainly haven't tried this for cutting chores yet, just came in, I got an interesting Sunday delivery from USPS, so that's something you're starting up around the holiday season, 2021. This is November, so I was very surprised to get a couple packages from White Mountain Knives yesterday, so we could do this review today. But what you might be thinking, and I'm certainly thinking too, is, you know, how much interference does that hole cause when you're cutting? And it's a very sharp edge, as are all TwoSuns, regardless of the steel. They just do a lot of work on their edges. They come through aggressive yet smooth. But you know what's going to happen to your material as it passes by there, even though you have a high flat grind. You get into this portion here, and any soft material is immediately going to kind of fall in there and cause some friction. But if you consider this kind of a self-defense implement, then it's all about that action, right? So I'm not sure if this has a nickname. I've looked around, looked on Instagram, looked on eBay, and what have you, and do not see a nickname for this knife. But let's take another look around. It is the TS382. believe I recently did a review on the TS381, which is an entirely different animal. We'll take another look around in a minute, but let me show you one other Max Tkachuk design. This is the Grandpa by TwoSun Knives, an entirely different animal. Here we have kind of an old Barlow style knife. Also Sandvik, but way different size, way different blade shape. Look at that. So the 382 is a much larger knife. One other feature that I didn't mention is that this uses internal stop pins. So you've got a track inside, you've got these stop pins that lock up the knife. There is no stop pin there as you usually see. Quick reference against the Benchmade Griptilian. Since my camera is off at an angle, we'll give you both perspectives. Certainly it's a larger knife than the Griptilian. And if we bring in for further comparison the Ontario Rat 1, we can see that it is longer than the Rat 1. Even handle to handle, we have a slightly longer blade. So again, coming right up on 4 inches with the 382. But how about that? I mean, if you're looking for something crazy unusual and you want to spend, I think about 100, 105, something like that, they're probably going to come down. I mean, and if it's popular, you'll probably see it in M390. Who knows? That TwoSun tends to do a lot of that. But this is Sandvik, a good steel, good serviceable steel. It's a steel designed specifically for cutlery. Nice little swedge on the top there. But you really have what I'd consider to be a spear point blade. Call it a drop if you want, but the way that the edge and the spine kind of meet and at that point pretty much evenly, I'd call it a spear point. And speaking of points, we have a good amount of meat out at the end there. Yeah, we can hold focus. There you go. The Max Tkachuk designed TwoSun TS382. Hope you enjoyed this review. Don't forget to give it a like and subscribe.